Good morning. It's still kind of early here, like around 10 o'clock, I think. It's really windy and cold today, so it's a perfect day for being in the kitchen. So we're going to make a small batch of homemade bread. It took me 12 years to work this out because I wanted a recipe for just 1 or 2 loaves, because I actually, 15 years ago, I guess, I was insulin dependent diabetic. So I cut out all white things, which included bread. And so I could come off the insulin, which I did. But I wanted to make a small batch for my family. And I couldn't find recipes for like 1 or 2 loaves of bread that seemed to work out well. So I toyed with it, and it took me a good many years, but I finally got it. So now I'm going to share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you want to like this video and subscribe. Okay, let's get busy. Hopefully you can see everything okay. In this bowl right here, I have covered with tin foil. In this bowl, this one right here, you need a 1/2 cup of warm water. And you put 2 tablespoons of yeast. I use traditional Fleischmann's, I guess, active dry yeast. You put 2 tablespoons of it, level tablespoons, and a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Sugar helps the yeast activate better. So when you put that on, the other thing that you need to do is, in a separate bowl, you put 2 cups of very warm water, and you melt 4 tablespoons of butter. I use real butter because I find it works out better, but I have made it with margarine, so it's all of your, what everybody likes, really. And you melt the butter into the water. So that's all you do, so that the butter is purely melted. Okay? So in a separate large bowl, what you need to do, this is empty right now, what I do is I put 4 cups of regular white flour. Just that run-of-the-mill Robin Hood stuff, okay? And I put just shy of a 1/2 cup of sugar. It makes it a little bit more of a sweeter bread, but you can use the bread, you can make cinnamon rolls with it, or you can add a little brown sugar, some cinnamon, some raisins, make a little bit of raisin bread. So, and you add that into your flour. Okay? I only put a little tiny amount of salt just because I have kidney issues, so I like to keep the sodium count low. And you put that in there. And then what I do is I mix the dry ingredients a little bit. Make a little hole in the center after you got it mixed up a little. And you pour your water and your butter mixture in the center. And then you dump your yeast mixture in the bowl. I like to get the rest of that yeast out of there, because this is a quick batch. This is quick bread. That doesn't make a whole bunch. So it's easy to do. Now, I stir the wet mixture in with the dry. Now, a lot of people don't do it that way. They've done it different ways. But as you can see, it starts to kind of get like form a little kind of a bowl. A ball. Not a bowl, a ball. Now, this is typically 2 to 3 loaves. Sometimes maybe even 4, depending on how things rise. What kind of weather is outside plays a big part into it. Okay, so once you have most of the mixture mixed up, and it's looking kind of like a wet, sloppy ball, okay, you have to start adding more flour and kneading it in. So I usually do, the first one I do 2 cups. I dump flour in there by 2 cups, and then I just put my hand in there and I start kneading. And the reason why I do it this way is because it does cut down on the kneading time. Like, a lot of people get intimidated by making bread because of they think it's really hard work and there's a lot of kneading involved and whatnot, but it doesn't have to be. No, like, this is quick and it turns out every time, and it doesn't make a big huge mess. It doesn't take all day, so this can be done, you know, fairly quickly. And it's a good way too. You can toy around with the recipe. You know, like, I have put raisins and cinnamon into it. I have put different kinds of cheese and ham, like shredded up little tiny pieces of ham with some cheese into it. And I have baked it that way. And then I just served it with butter, you know, thing like that. And whatnot. Even at Christmas time, you can do like a bunch of different fruit and nuts, almost like a fruity bread. When it comes out, you can put a little bit of icing over the top. So there's lots of fun things that you can do with this. I've even taken this, I'm going to take that out of the bowl now. And I just take down a piece of parchment paper just to save a mess on the counter. It's all about saving mess and time, you know, when you got kids and you got other stuff to do. You want to be able to clean up quickly so you can get right back to crocheting, or in my case today, homeschool. I gave the kids a little break so I could get this going. Now, this big bowl, oh, you want to save. You want to put that aside because that's what we're going to let the bread rise in after you get it. I don't think that parchment paper is going to work out very good. Now, everybody does kneading differently. It doesn't really matter. The main point of kneading is to make sure that it gets totally mixed really well, and see how that's still kind of sticky. See, when I first took it out, it looked really dry, but the more I knead it, the more I realize I need more flour. So, put a little bit of extra flour. And just keep on. Oh, well, that parchment paper has become a vein of my existence. You have to go away. Slide that out of the way. I thought I could save myself some mess, but you know, sometimes it just does not work out that way. Okay, this is the first time I've actually made bread since last year. I broke my wrist last year. I couldn't make bread all winter. This is the first time I've made bread since then, actually. So, the more you knead it, the more closer you'll see it come together. And outside will start to get smooth. And the more you knead, then you'll know that if you need more flour, because it'll get kind of sticky again. See how it's getting sticky again? Because we don't want that real sticky. But from here on out, the best thing to do is just put a light dusting, because we don't want to make the bread dough too dry. I can't really see myself, I can imagine. I look so sweet. You get your workout. You get a 10-minute workout doing this. Now, homemade bread is a lot different than store-bought bread, because you get to, you know, there's no preservatives. And, you know, you can do a lot of quantity control. I like to make smaller loaves because I don't want everybody eating a honking piece of bread. I still don't eat a whole lot of white stuff. I do a little bit, but not much. Like, I'll probably only have like 1 piece of toast a day. And I don't eat very many potatoes or rice or pasta, just because it's too hard on my sugars. And I did not like taking insulin, so I'm really happy I'm off of it, and I really don't want to go back on it, because you have to give yourself the needles, and it's kind of, it's hard. I didn't like that part at all. So you just keep on kneading it until the surface of it starts to become smooth and not sticky. Every now and then you can just put a light dusting on there. And it doesn't take really long to get to this stage, really, because I mean, this is like, we have been going, what's my time stamp? 10 minutes. I mean, hell, look at that. The other thing I have done too at Christmas time and whatnot is I have taken the bread and divided it into 3 pieces and braided it, and it just gives it, like, you know, like a fancy thing if we were going to have guests and stuff like that you can put onto the table. I've also made cinnamon rolls with the homemade bread. You just, after it's risen, because this is only a 1 rise recipe that I made, so you only got to do it 1 time, not twice. Most traditional bread recipes, they take, you know, 2 risings and 2 or 3 hours each one. This is a quick rise, and you only do it the 1 time. You could probably even kind of make like a chain. I must try that. Make almost like a crocheted chain with the bread dough. Maybe I'll try that this time. I'll show everybody. See if it works. Make the little loopy loops. So, yeah, sky's the limit, you know. Before, I had taken it and I rolled it out flat, and I had put pizza sauce in the middle with some smaller pieces of pepperoni cut up, some cheese, and rolled it up and put it into a bread pan. So when you cut it, it's almost like a pizza roll thing or whatever. That makes a kind of a cute thing if you were having like a party or a birthday party or just guests over or something like that. It's kind of neat. You can pretty much do anything. You just have to get imaginating. Is that a word? Imaginating? I'm imaginating. I got all kinds of fancy words that are my own lingo, if nobody's noticed. Because I am crazy. Crazy unicorn. Okay, so this is pretty much done now and rolled out. Kneaded enough. So you can see how it's no longer sticky. And the surface is relatively smooth. Like if you rub it like this, you get a nice smooth looking texture. Yeah, see? And it's not sticky. So then what you do is you form it into a ball. And that's how I fold mine. Okay, you get a nice little bowl there. And you put it back into your original bowl. Now, the secret to rising bread quickly is saran wrap or plastic wrap. Not anything else. This is all you need. And I'm almost out. Look at that. I ended it. Woohoo. So that's what you need. You need saran wrap. Now, I'll leave that go probably maybe 30 minutes or so. So we will check back in 30 minutes or so. Okay. Hi, I'm back. I ended up letting it raise for about 45 minutes just because I forgot that I had an over the phone doctor's appointment. So my doctor had called me, so it went along a little bit long. Oh, look at that. My coffee's ready. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to punch this down. We're going to get it into the baking dishes. We're going to let it raise for another 30 minutes. Then you put it in the oven on 350 for about a half an hour or till it's brown. Okay, so I will check back when the loaves come out of the oven, but I'll leave it go until I get it in the pans because I'm going to make some cheese bread. So please like and subscribe. So you just peel this plastic off. And this is the last of my plastic. Try to save it. Put it over the pans. I'm going to cut it in 3 pieces. Relatively try to get about the same. And you just shape it into a loaf. The best you can. Because now we just took all the rising air out of it and we're squeezing it back out. So I have a double dish here. I'm going to put 2 loaves next to each other. Try to squeeze out some of those air bubbles so that your bread is nice and close and not full of air. Yeah, I know. That's my microwave reminding me that my coffee's heated. I know. There we go. And then I'm just going to stick this wrap just right back over it because it rises better with the plastic wrap. Okay, now cheese bread. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to try to spread it out a little bit. There we go. In the fridge I have some cheddar cheese and some mozzarella cheese grated. And I like to put a little bit on the inside. Anybody who loves cheese bread. And you kind of just roll it a little bit. Get that cheese there going. Mix it a little bit. Flatten it a little more. Hard to do. Doesn't want to be like that. But you have to eat the cheese because the cheese is so yummy. Alright. I've even put like a little bit of garlic salt into it, made it like a garlic bread, served it with pasta. It's really good that way. Because that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm gonna have pasta. It's pasta night. Alright. Get a little bit more cheese in there because, you know, I love my cheese. Keep on putting a little extra. Alright, now you have to try to shape this into a loaf. It makes the house smell so good and homey when you got bacon, and I find that smell, it lasts for like a whole day. And it's lovely. Just feels more warm, homey-like. Okay. Get that bread in there, and of course, you need some more on top. You know, cheesy crust. That's gonna be some good tonight. There we go. Cheesy bread. Now sneak that under here a little bit if you can. Wow. Now, I'm going to keep that covered for about 30 minutes. It'll rise back up. And then I'm going to stick it in the oven. The oven's on 350. And it'll be in there baking in the center of the oven on 350 for about 30 minutes or so. So I will check back in with you in a few minutes, and I'll let you know what you do after it comes out of the oven. Okay, see you in a little bit. Hi, it's me again, and I'm back. The house smells so good. It smells like homemade bread, and it's still really windy and cool here, so it's like, oh, loving it. Just loving it. So my little trick, if you want soft crust, you just rub a little tiny bit of margarine on the outside of the bread. And I'll show you here in a second. So I just rub a little margarine on the outside of it when it first comes out of the oven, and it makes for a really nice soft crust. But I mean, look at the inside of that double one I made. It's nice and close. There's no big air bubbles. Oh, it's so delicious. Oh, and here's my cheese one, all done. Gonna have that tonight for supper. So I just put a little bit of margarine on a bag. Doesn't have to be a lot. If you like crispy crust, you don't have to put the butter on. But a little tiny skim of butter, it just makes for nice soft crust. And we like soft crust here. Well, the adults do. The kids won't eat crust. I don't know. Kids are kids, right? It's just the way it is. There you go. We're all done. And now when it's completely cooled off, you just stick it in a bag. And it's done. It freezes. And, you know, I usually cut mine up a loaf at a time. Because nobody here can cut straight, except for me. I cut a lot of loaves in my day. But that's it. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, can you hit that like button, or they say smash the like button, and subscribe. And stay tuned. There's more to come. So I hope everybody is staying healthy and safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.